I'm going to demo throwing a 1 pound cylinder. A cylinder is the basic throwing process that you would start with to make almost any wheel thrown vessel, really. So I'm going to start throwing the clay right down against the wheel head. I'm going to press it down a little bit, make sure it's secured. I'm going to start the wheel going about half speed, so the foot pedal about halfway down. And I take my foot off the pedal when I'm not adjusting it. I'll start by pushing the clay down with my right hand against the wheel head. And then I'll put pressure on the top with the side of my right hand, and I'll start squeezing against the outside with my left. And by doing so, I'm going to round the clay and bring it in perfectly centered. And we're just going to repeat that process a few times, hand on top, squeezing it first with my pinky and my left, squeezing it up. And moving the clay slowly and letting go gently is key for making a perfectly round, centered piece of clay. And one more time, just going to add some slight pressure, let go softly. Now that it's centered, I take my finger of my left hand, I'm going to press down just to the right of the center with my left finger and brace with my right hand. Pushing down, and I'm going to go down to about ½ inch from the wheel head. Give me a little bit of space, and then I'm going to draw my left finger outward, widening that hole to about almost 2 inches. And compress the bottom, a little water, and I'm just going to even up this top here by squeezing inside and out with my left hand while holding pressure on the top with my right to round out and kind of compress that rim. Now I'm going to slow the wheel just a little, just adjust the foot pedal. I'm going to take my left finger, my left middle finger, and I'm going to put it right down to the corner of the bottom on the inside. I'm going to hold it there at an angle, take my right hand, I'm just going to slowly push the clay in and up along my middle finger. So I've done that, I'm going to compress the rim. And I'm pretty much just going to repeat that last step where I'm bringing the clay in, holding my inside finger still, and moving it up with my outside finger. Bring it in and up. Compress the rim. I'm going to slow my wheel again. So I saw I was starting to belly out a little here, which means it's spinning too fast now for the process. I'm going to add a little more water and just raise it again. And now I'm needing to raise my inside finger as well as the out. So I'm pushing out with my middle finger and just catching underneath the little bubble that causes by pushing out and raising it up. Letting it go softly at the top. You can see it's starting to fan out a little, and I just slowed my wheel down. I'm going to get both hands wet, collar it in a little, just squeezing in and pulling up on that clay to keep it coming in. It's a lot easier to handle that way. It's more sturdy because the base is wider than the top. I'm going to raise it again, a little more gently as it's getting thinner. Same thing. Inside finger above the outside, raising them in unison, stretching that clay up, and it's looking okay. I'm going to take my wooden rib and use it to straighten up the outside, pretty much just holding it in place against the outside and pushing on the inside out to that rib, but not very hard. Just enough to even it out. That's pretty good. I'm just going to straighten it up one more time. Pretty much just pressure on the outside. Raising up my cylinder. So I'm going to dress the top a little and round it out. And take my sponge, squeeze the water out of it, reach down inside and clean any excess water off the bottom so that it doesn't crack when drying. I take my stick, cut away just a little at the bottom so there's a place for my wire tool to go under when I cut the piece off the wheel head. And my wire tool is over here. Uno momento. With my wire tool, I'm going to slow the wheel way down to cut it off. Stretch the wire tool tight between my two hands, hold it to the wheel head, and pull it under the piece. So the piece is now cut off the wheel. I'm just going to grab a bat and set that just on my water bucket so that it's a good height to move the piece over to. Now I'm going to grasp it with as much surface area as I can, but as little pressure as possible. Just cradling the piece, pick it up off the wheel head, gently set it down on the bat, and just adjust it a little. And that's the cylinder.